All right, we'll call to order community development meeting for September 22nd. We have myself, Commissioner Damon Mullen, Commissioner Kip McFatrick, Commissioner Nick Skull. We have our Township Staff Committee, Paul Patel, Director of Code Enforcement, David Ilzier, Director of Public Works, Township Manager, Pat Sazio, and our Township Solicitor, Ken Kinney. Oh, and we also have Jim Herschel, Township Engineer.
I always forget you. I do it all the time.
Do we have any presentations or announcements?
We do not.
We have any public comments, non-agenda items only? Cool. All right, so then we go to the approval of minutes for the July 21st.
No changes.
Any comments?
No additions, thank you.
Yep. So we'll approve those minutes. We have no land development. On to new business. So the first topic of business is the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation 5-year winter service agreement.
That would be me. Thank you, Mr. Commissioner.
Snow's coming.
Yeah, this is for the, this is a 5-year agreement for the township to salt and plow and maintain state highways within the township. It's a 5-year contract with 5 additional 1-year renewals. So it starts off at $108,838 and goes up to $117,811 for the 5 years. So my recommendation is to send this to the full board and sign the resolution, which they provided. If not, then the state would sub out the plowing and salting contracts and our roads would never be clear.
Yeah.
They haven't gotten to our potholes yet from last year.
Right.
So
Exactly.
don't expect them to move snow.
Yeah. So even on the, when we say no alternative, just say the roads will be bad. Yeah. I have no objection. We can move this onto the board.
Standard procedure.
Yep.
That's public.
Oh, any questions for the public? Any public comments? Any commissioner comments? Okay, we'll move on to the second item. The bid award for the traffic signal equipment improvements.
Thank you, Commissioner. The township approved going out to bids for traffic signal improvements along York and Eastern Road corridors. We had 2 projects going on those same roadways. This is the second of the 2. This will be new controllers that are UCC compatible and will connect to PennDOT TMC MaxView system. They were identified by PennDOT. Those roadways are also a supercritical corridor in the area, and we did receive a grant for this in the amount of $513,000. We do have a 20% match. This grant goes back about 2 years now. The bids came in at $395,718. When you add in some traffic engineering and inspections, that 395 will come in probably a little less than 500,000, we believe, and our match would be 20% of that. So 20% of 500,000 will be less than our original commitment for this project. I'd like to move forward, recommend that we move this forward for full board action at the October 6th meeting. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
The money's already in the budget, right?
Money is already budgeted, yes.
Okay. No question.
I have no questions.
I got a constituent inquiry about, I noticed that the light at Davisville Road is not timed with the road, with the light in front of the park. And have we ever considered doing anything about that? So,
Which Davisville Road?
The light at Davisville in York and the light in front of the park, and they were stuck on the railroad, and they wanted to know if we had ever thought about doing anything about the traffic.
So those are state roads. We can certainly have the state take a look at the timing of those roads.
I wrote a long report going back, 20 years to moving the train station.
I think they were.
We did.
They were all timed.
When I was on vacation 2 weeks ago for a few days, there was an issue. The light was on flash, I believe. Our traffic signal technician is on light duty, so he works from till 10:30 in the morning. So what we did, we called Signal Services, who changed the timing. They put all new timers in all these traffic signals in the corridors, and he came out and adjusted it. I don't know if it's, I haven't heard a complaint since.
No, this predates that. It's just, That was a kind of naive comment to think that we hadn't thought about the Willow Road. Anyway.
Any other commissioner comments? Any public comments? So we'll move that to the full board. Okay, so the next item is the authorization to advertise a public hearing for conditional use application for Cashel Associates LP for 601 Davisville Road.
No problem. This is just for to have a hearing.
Yep, just to have a hearing. Any other commissioner comments? Public comments? Okay, so we'll move that, we'll authorize that advertisement.
Does cowbell behind there get noticed if their property abuts it, right?
The municipality's planning code does not require us to notify adjacent properties for a conditional use hearing.
Okay, we don't do that at all.
The property will be posted, it'll be advertised,
Okay,
and obviously it's out there now since it's on the committee meeting tonight. So.
okay. Thanks.
All right, our last item for new business is the request from Walmart for the holiday seasonal trailers. They normally do this every year, but I think they're looking for more trailers this year, correct? Yeah.
That's correct, Commissioner. Should be someone here from Walmart, I believe.
There he is.
You can go,
Okay. Well, let them speak.
if they want. Yeah.
Sure.
You want,
You're up.
Gonna make you do it again.
you gotta plead your case.
So yeah, I believe last year we had 18 trailers. I think we sent the revised version of it. It's going to be a total of 26 trailers. We had walked with, I think, the fire commissioner and Paul here on movement of some of those trailers that we might have had some oversight on to make sure that we're not blocking any fire lanes or anything like that.
That's all I comment that I have is just as long as our fire chief is okay with the placement.
I sent it a revised copy. I don't know if he signs off on it on the revised version of it. Then
Just the board has it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to remind, so our audience is aware, this is a temporary
Yes.
permission, I think during the holiday season, to have
It's 26 total.
26 storage units
Yes.
on location. Will not be in the parking lot, will not be in the fire lane.
Okay. Any other commissioner comments? And then any public comments? Okay, we'll move this on to the board,
Okay. Thank you.
October meeting. Thank you.
It'll move forward for the October 6th full board.
Okay, so on to old business, the downtown parking lot. Verbal agreement.
Let me start, and then maybe Jim can add some more. A project that the township has identified is our downtown parking lot, which is at the intersection, I guess it would be the east, southwest.
Southwest corner of Davisville and York
Thank you.
Road.
And we have a project to reorganize and landscape and do some improvements to that area. We have delayed a little bit because we're waiting on some grant funding, and we're still in the waiting on a decision for the grant. We thought we were going to hear in August. I think that's been pushed back until the end of November or even into midwinter. So I don't want to start this project until we see how much grant money we have. We do have the project funds available to us in our most recent bond issue. However, if we start the project before we receive the grant contracts, anything we've done to that point would be ineligible. But Jim, maybe you can walk the board through what the project is a little bit.
Yeah, so the existing parcel has about 10 public parking spaces. And the desire would be to create something similar to what is on the entrance to Memorial Park Drive. It would be a seating area and a little knee wall with some enhanced landscaping, and then the entire remainder of the parking area would be repaved and it'd be striped, and there would still be 4 public parking spaces there. The entrance would be a lot more defined than it is now, and it would just sort of be a beautification of the area in general.
So I'm not asking for anything of the board at this meeting, just wanted to, because there were some questions from some members where this project is, we wanted to bring it to your attention.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so we'll move on to our monthly reports. Let's start with code enforcement.
Thank you, Commissioner. I included a copy of this year's monthly report in comparison. I also included last year's monthly report. I have nothing to add. Happy to answer any questions the committee or commissioners may have.
I have no questions.
No,
Any
I'm
other,
good.
None for me.
any other commissioner comments? Public comments? Okay. Thank you, Paul. We'll move on to Public Works report.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner. You have my July and August reports. I have nothing further to add. But gladly answer any questions.
Any other commissioner comments, questions? Public comments, questions? Okay, thank you, Dave. Okay, we'll move on to the engineering report. Engineers report.
Thank you. Our report for engineering and landscape architecture is in your packets. I don't have anything to add, but I'd be more than happy to answer questions that you might have.
I guess the only one I have across the street, we haven't gotten the final, and they're ready to go, right?
No, I had some discussions with their engineer this past week where they submitted final plans, but there's still some things to work out.
Okay.
Any other commissioner comments?
I have a different question. I've been hearing about the Horsham Air Base project is finally getting underway. And it's always been an issue that they never consider us. There was all the traffic that's going to be generated up there is going to go through Upper Moreland. And I just wondered if Jim had any comments or any thoughts about where that project is going or what.
I don't have a lot of information on that project, but I could certainly, talk to my counterparts that work in Horsham and get a discussion set up, and maybe Pat and Bill Walker, Horsham's manager, could talk about the traffic studies that I'm sure were conducted when they were contemplating what that would
I've
be.
been involved in those meetings, not necessarily with the design, but the review of the designs and then the traffic effects on all of the local roadways. And they have taken Upper Moreland into consideration. I think the first steps in the next early years here are going to be to put a road through the base from Norristown Road out to Maple, and then create some parkland. I don't think there's going to be development for at least 5 or 6 years, but it is gaining some momentum, and I think they have someone who wants to purchase some of that property. But I have seen all the traffic counts and the light changes, the traffic signal changes that are proposed to mitigate any additional traffic that'll be coming our way. There's also a lot of turnpike interchange improvements, not only here in Willow Grove, but at Fort Washington, the slip ramp, and possible additional ramp that would happen, that would get onto Route 63. So they're trying to disseminate the traffic a little differently.
I was surprised I went over the plans, and to put it in perspective, the base is 1.3 square miles. Hatboro is 1.4, all of Hatboro. That's like putting another town just on that property. That's all.
And what about the water? Just wondering.
That was one of the major delays to what's going on right now.
And we'll move on to our EAC update.
Hello. We did install the storm drain medallions. We installed 50 of them. I don't know if you might have noticed some around the township building. We also put some at the library. And we got them. And we also did Ward 1. And one of our EAC members actually grew up on Center Avenue, so he knew his way around well. I want to thank Public Works for providing those for us. We did Mason's Mill Pollinator Garden again, which will happen on a regular basis. And we hope that an ordinance to consider meadows, a meadow ordinance will be considered soon. And we removed invasive plants from the rain garden and along the stream at Veterans Park on Sunday. We had a total of 10 people show up, and we came up with a pretty big pile. We want to thank Parks and Rec for then picking up that pile. We will have a table, the EAC is going to have a table, the October 4th event at Farmstead Park, where we'll give out information about the EAC and native plants and other related information. Some plants that had died over at the library, pollinator garden, and the Outdoor Environmental Education Center have been replaced. And let's see, I guess that's it. We're also working with the Shade Tree Commission to do a tree giveaway. We were hoping maybe October, but some of the tree potential providers really didn't get back to me. So now we're hoping to give away about 50 trees to Upper Moreland residents in the spring. And on, actually tomorrow at 2 o'clock at the library, there will be the Pennsylvania Bat Rescue and Rehabilitation giving a talk. I've seen them talk before. They're really, really excellent. And they bring live bats with them so you can see how cute they really are. And they really are. Any other questions or any questions?
They waited too close to Halloween to do that.
Actually, we saw it at Hatboro's Earth Day. They had them there. And like I said, they were really excellent. And they're usually pretty busy during the summer rescuing bats. And so now this time of year, they were free to start giving presentations again. So any of you can break free at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Stop on by the library. All right? Any questions?
No questions. Any public comments?
All right.
Okay. Thank you. And do we have the Historical Commission? Anyone here to talk about?
Historical Commission?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I'm sitting in for Susan Worth Lamanna. She issued a report of the things that occurred with the Historical Commission over the last month in September. In August, there was a successful school district scavenger hunt that was sponsored by the school. The purpose of it was to help leadership and teachers understand some of the historical houses and buildings in the area. And we're, as part of the Historical Commission, we're also trying to probably widen that and maybe include community and family members in the future. A discussion ensued regarding encouraging business use of historical properties in the township, and we're trying to see whether there's a potential of maintaining a historical overlay in downtown Willow Grove, especially the Ehrenford block. There is a annual historical spooky haunt event at the farmstead coming up on October 25th. It's in the report, it says the 28th, but it is the 25th between 3 and 7. The police and fire department have been notified about the event, and I think they're going to assist in some security. As part of the commission's responsibility has been historical markers, which are the banners. Historical markers, which are the signs of the historical sites. There are 2 historical site markers that are intended to be put up in the next year or so. It's under review. Those are the Fountain House and the Mineral Springs Park. We're also doing an inventory of the street banners, the historical street banners. There are a few that are damaged. There are a few that are missing. So we're looking at an inventory of what the cost of that to replace those. We're also engaged a professional photographer to rephotograph some of the houses that are of a revolutionary period for the upcoming 2050 event next year. And Alan sent, and was part of the, as obviously he's part of the Historical Commission, he provided us some, updates of ongoing projects and future projects, projected projects. He also described that there is a farmstead event on the 4th of October, which is called the Farmstead on Tap. That will happen, I think during the time is probably like 3 to 7. Our next meeting's on October 7th at 7 in the caucus room. So if anybody wants to attend that, that would be, very welcome. Any questions or comments?
Udo, you intrigued me with talking about changing the ordinance and the historic ordinance. It already applies to the downtown, I believe, doesn't it, Paul? It's not accepted, is it?
Well, not historical per se. Any property that's on the local inventory would be required to adhere by that. But as far as the downtown in general, the entire, no, it's not that I'm aware of. I mean,
Yeah.
By
But
property.
I mean,
Everett Ford is one of them, so.
right. I was just thinking that maybe we should be considering an additional conditional use for an historic building, that would allow them to save the building and, and derive some benefit, for the historic character. Not how exactly to say it, but conditional use that would allow them to save the building, not tear it down.
Well, I mean, if it meets the criteria for our local inventory, I would suggest that those properties, the property owner reach out to historical.
Right, well, but the ordinance says, a tea house, a massage parlor, kind of things. Maybe there could be some other uses in the business district that would make it, more applicable.
I could take a look at some of our other neighboring communities, excuse me, Paul. I have read New Hope's and a couple of others, and they reference certain thing to what you're referring, so I could take a look at those and provide some information.
The intent is obviously to maintain some of the historical value of the downtown area.
Yeah,
Long
yeah.
term, rather than just having it developed for some other use.
Right. As I was saying, just giving a little more flexibility to what they could turn the building into, something more suitable to a business district rather than a tea house or whatever. Yep.
Any questions, other?
Thank you.
Thank you. I think we are adjourned.
Pat, who's next?
Next will be Finance and Administration.
Thank you.